Hey, hello. Great to see you here. This is a new channel, so subscribe now so you don't miss any videos. Without further ado, let's dive into the story. The story begins when a sort of demonic goddess encounters a human who has left an excellent impression on her. Because of this, she decides to take possession of him and make him her partner. The man is surprised by the proposal, saying that it is impossible for a human to live alongside an entity like her. But in the end, the woman convinces him, telling him that this is only a little game for her, since she only intends to use him to entertain herself for a while in her eternal life. Well, in any case, the man cannot refuse, because if she decides to use force, he would be in trouble. But surprisingly, this girl grows very fond of the human she initially saw as nothing more than a toy to pass the time, since we see her crying her heart out when, decades later, this man is nearing the end of his life. Even though he is in his final days, he feels satisfied for having changed her attitude toward him, even teasing her about it. We then see a bit of this demonic woman's past. While exploring a dungeon, she came across a grimoire that granted her immortality, as well as an elixir of youth. For her, these objects were absolutely necessary. After all, she was born possessing such gifts. So she couldn't help but mock other mortal creatures, like foolish humans who dream of having such things. But returning to the present, we now see this same demon desperately searching for those very items she once treated as trash, truly regretting having thrown them away. Still, she continues looking with the hope of saving the human she now adores so deeply. Well, let's hope she recovers them soon, since it doesn't look like this poor old man has much time left. While caring for him, she admits that now she realizes humans really do wither and grow wrinkled in the blink of an eye. Well, that was something the man had warned her about a long time ago. In the end, they couldn't spend too much time together. She remembers that time when she told him she would only be with him to kill time, but now she truly appreciates his company. With a painful smile, she admits that their time together was fulfilling. She recalls the early years they shared, when this man would greet her without fail every day, whether in the morning with a good morning, at night when they went to sleep, or when he welcomed her home. He kept doing this for the rest of his life. Even as the years passed, he always greeted her with a smile, and even now, when he is too old to even get out of bed, he still greets her with the same energy and that warm smile. Remembering these little details makes this demon unable to hold back her tears, knowing that soon there will be no one left to greet her in her eternal solitude. Still, she was truly happy by his side. In her desperation, she asks one of her demon friends for help in finding some solution to extend the man's life. Although she knows this is a burden for her friend, she endures it, since she doesn't have much time to waste. However, her eyes turn cold and merciless when her friend casually suggests that she should just give up and find a new human. The next day, the old man apologizes to her, saying that it was his fault her two friends ended up fighting to the death. She tells him not to worry about it. After all, her friend brought it upon herself by being so tactless. The old man feels compassion for her, telling her she is strong and has a great heart. But this doesn't make her happy at all. After all, she has so much power, yet she cannot save him. She isn't even strong enough to accept losing him. This makes her so angry that her tears burst out like a waterfall, hating herself for not being able to help him. And although she once had the means to save him, she simply didn't value them, and now she lives in regret. She feels powerless and pathetic, truly hating the situation and not wanting to be separated from him. She really wants to stay by his side for much longer. The old man, though sad, also feels happy hearing this. He had never seen her so vulnerable before, so in the end, he is glad she is showing him a weaker side of herself. She tries to put on a strong front, since he is teasing her, but it's hard to believe she won't cry again when she hugs him that way. We then get a glimpse of the old man's past. It seems he once wandered into a neighborhood full of charming women, and without a doubt, he nearly fell prey to one of them. Fortunately, or perhaps not so fortunately, his mistress came to the rescue, making it clear that he belonged to her. Well, though he looks more like a little puppy with his master, even though he tried to explain that he wasn't interested in those women, she disliked the idea of anyone else desiring what was her property, even if she didn't admit it. The man doesn't realize it, but she actually did get jealous, so much so that she complains about him looking at other women. She tells him that when he comes home, he should go straight to her room. The man is worried, thinking he's going to be punished. Well, I don't know if it's really punishment, but with the excuse that he pays attention to other girls because she never gave him the attention he needed, that night things happen, very pleasant things. We then learn a bit more about the friend she fought with. This friend doesn't understand her behavior over something so trivial, so she goes to one of those slums and decides to adopt her own human. Well, although she sees the girl as nothing more than a pet, the two of them begin living together. The human makes an effort to prepare some food for her new master, who doesn't need to eat, but still decides to taste it. Seconds later, she regrets it, since the food tastes horrible. After all, the girl didn't know how to cook. Still, she really tried to do something nice for the demon. The good thing is that this silly gesture strangely amuses the demon. Time passes, and now it seems the two will part ways. The human promises to send her a letter from time to time, but the demon tries to act cold, saying she doesn't need it. Before leaving, however, the human makes one last request. She wants permission to call her mother. For a moment, the demon dislikes the idea, but in the end, she agrees. The girl leaves very happy and deeply grateful to the one she now calls her mother. Once their farewell is over, the demon feels relieved, as though a weight has been lifted from her shoulders. However, she admits that if she had stayed with the girl any longer, her emotions would have taken over. She remembers what she once told her friend back then about getting a human, and now that she understands those feelings better, the next time she sees her, she intends to sincerely apologize. It seems some bandits tried to attack a caravan but were repelled by a giant tentacle. That tentacle came from the girl's necklace, which she recalls was given to her by her mother, who told her she was the greatest mage in the world. That very mother is now reading a letter we can assume was sent by the girl. She, of course, realizes that the necklace was activated, though she calms down after seeing nothing serious happened. Still, even though she tries to suppress her emotions by saying she doesn't care what happens to that human, the poor man at her side feels a chill down his spine. The demon is furious because she had expected that incompetent man to protect her daughter. Back to the couple's memories. After a passionate night, the next day the demon treats her human indifferently, while he seems far too excited about what happened. Regretful, he follows her around all day, trying to apologize, but she ignores him completely. The good thing is that, at night, she finally decides to speak to him, asking about dinner, something that surprises the man so much that he falls to his knees, thanking God that she's finally talking to him again. She tells him he's being too dramatic, since they had only stopped talking for a moment, but in reality, an entire year had passed without her saying a word to him. For her it was just a brief moment, but for him it was absolute hell. It seems a hunter is now determined to kill the demon, since a rumor spread that another hunter managed to take one of her tentacles. So now it looks like there's an opportunity to defeat her. But in truth, she corrects the rumor, saying that the tentacle was a gift for her daughter, and now she's extremely angry because he interrupted her reading. She won't hold back this time. Back to the memories of this mother and her adopted daughter. It seems they enjoyed spending time together playing video games. Don't ask me how there are video games in this world, let's just say it's the power of magic. The point is, this demon was terrible at those games, getting irritated every time she lost. Curiously, the human found this side of her mother very cute. And as if she could read her thoughts, the demon warned her not to think of her as cute. So the girl decided that instead of just thinking it, she would say it out loud, that her mother was very cute. Of course, this only made the demon much angrier. Back to the past with a lovely couple of human and demon. It seems she is putting all her effort into cooking something delicious. The man looks quite worried, since she had never stepped into a kitchen before. The final result is, well, something that doesn't look very edible, which makes the demon angry about how it turned out. But the human eats the food she prepared as if it were a delicacy from the gods, making the demon feel very proud of herself, even though we don't know what might have happened to him afterward. If this man had said that the food tasted bad, guys, this channel is still new, so your support makes all the difference. Subscribe, leave a like, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. That way, you help the channel grow and we can keep bringing more content like this for you. Thanks a lot.